Are you gone?
No.
Oh my god.
Now I am.
All right. So tonight we have a very, 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 very special interview. Very special video. You guys haven't seen Joe in like a minute. He's been gone. We'll like get into it more like probably when he gets back because that's like for a whole nother video.
Oh, that's like
But
a good hour.
So yeah, basically, Joe's been gone for a long time. Has it been a year yet?
No, I left in March. Well, like right at the beginning of March.
Okay, so he left March 2021. So it's now December 2021. And basically, Joe has been. Whenever I first started making beats when coronavirus started, Joe was like the first person to hit me up. I've known Joe since I was in like 6th grade. And Joe was the first person to hit me up and be like, yo, let's work. And then literally like that day or the next day he came over. And we immediately started making like just like my production just changed the moment he got there. Well, first off, what's your name? How old are you? And where are you from?
I am Joe Sloan. Joseph Sloan if my mom's pissed at me. I was born in West Palm Beach, Florida. You know, trailer park of fucking America. Love to see it, love to see it. I was adopted at like 16 months or something like that. Moved to Atlanta, was there for a little bit. Moved to Virginia, was there for a while. But then I moved to Friendswood, and I spent like 10 plus years there. So if anyone asks, I'm from Houston, you know. That's home for me.
How did you get your start in music? Like what was your first what was your first introduction to getting into like listening to music and then like playing instruments and stuff like that?
So ever since I can remember, like as a little kid, I'd always listen to music. Like I had started with just like my music my dad liked. So, you know, it's like Kansas, Blue Oyster Cults, you know, shit like that. I remember vividly the CD. I had 2 CDs I listened to when I was like 5. One of them was like the Curious George soundtrack, and one of them was like an old like compilation of like rock songs. And I would listen to that every single night going to bed. And just from there, I just picked up more music and more music from all types of genres. Then when I was probably 7 or 8, I started taking guitar lessons, and it was like, you know, more like classical guitar lessons on like a nylon guitar. And I did that while I lived in Virginia. Then I moved to Texas, and then that's when I picked up electric guitar, and I went to the School of Rock, which is like they get kids together, teach them sets, and then we go play at places. So I played at like the House of Blues, Fitzgerald's, a couple other cool places. So I downloaded the free version of FL like probably a year, 2 years before I ever met up with Matt.
So how many years ago was that?
That probably was been about 3 now. 3 or 4.
So you've been like messing around with beats for like 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it took me forever to try to start to figure out FL, and I like every day I just like do a little bit more here to try to figure out like a new piece. And I did that all with like the free version, and then just like for Christmas one year I had asked for, you know, the full version, or I paid for the next edition, and then I asked for the full version for Christmas that year, which would have been 2020 actually. It was Christmas 2020 was when I got the full version. And so then I really started fucking around with that. And then that's when I saw that Matt was producing, and I was like, hey.
I guess like the next thing is how did Sunwood 𝗙𝗹𝗺 from your perspective come to be? Like Sunwood 𝗙𝗹𝗺 was just my group of friends, like outside of the music. I was just doing the beats on my own. But like from your perspective, how did it all like come together?
Well, for me it came together like it was like one day, it was like middle of August. I just saw that you posted something, and I was like, what is this? Is that Logic? I think that's Logic. The only reason he'd use that if he was like making music. And I was like, well shit. I haven't talked to him in a while. I would love to hang out with this fucker. So I hit you up, just like music shit would be cool, but even if it wasn't music shit, if it was just chilling, you know, I was fine with it because like I hadn't seen you in a while. So I hit you up. We literally went, and I think it was like that night. Like I hit you up that afternoon, and that night we went and like cooked up. And I just remember like sitting in your room and just like this is just something to love about like the janky ass setup. You know, using like a fucking like TV stand as like my fucking desk. And we cranked out like 3 or 4 just bangers. And then pretty quickly, like you and me were very much on the same page of like producing is cool, but doing something with your friends and building something up from nothing, it's like it's more than just like music, you know?
Exactly.
And I think we were on the same page of that we wanted to build something more than music, just like selling beats and working together.
So like basically from August through September, like Joe and I pretty much just grind. Like
like every single day. If
and then
every other day.
And then I don't even remember like the first point when I introduced Brooks, but y'all know Brooks. Brooks. If y'all don't know Brooks, just go watch other videos. He's just Brooks the manager. He's just the guy. But
Brooks.
at one point I went to work and showed Brooks like a beat and was like, hey, like me and like I don't know if you know Joe Sloan, because we all went to high school together. So it's like I don't know if you know Joe Sloan, but we're like doing this because Brooks and I are working at the same pizza place. So then at this point, like we kind of started going to make beats at Joe's house more because he had like at his house at the time, he had like an in-home theater, so we would just go cook up in there. I guess once Brooks came into it, then I was like, okay, it's Sunwood 𝗙𝗹𝗺 now. Like
we knew when it was just you and me, we knew we wanted something more. But I feel like when Brooks came on, that's when it really started to become like Sunwood 𝗙𝗹𝗺. Like we had the idea of we want something more, but once Brooks was there, it was Sunwood 𝗙𝗹𝗺.